Hey guys, it's Eric from Team Rec here, coming at you with yet another deck profile. I just had the Rarity Collection 2 release celebration event today. I took first place with none other than the best deck in the format, Snake Eyes. Um, Not gonna lie, it's gonna be a pretty standard build, but thought I'd just show it off and discuss a couple cards. Matchups today, I went 4-0. I faced Kashtira round one, round two, Melodious, Chimera, round three, Flunderies, and then in the finals I played against Tenpai. Deck performed pretty well despite the build probably not being as consistent as it can. You'll see why later. But let's jump in. And yeah, I don't have the mat because I got rid of that rather quickly. I have too many play mats, quite frankly. Anyway, the standard lineup here of Snake Eyes monsters: 3 Ash, 2 Poplar, 1 Oak, and then this is pretty new from Legacy Destruction. This is Snake Eyes Diabellstar. This card gives the deck a lot of gas, and it also just gives you another reason to not play Jet Synchron anymore, because I just think this is better. You do sacrifice kind of that wombo combo aspect of your extra deck, like in the form of Dispowder and Omega, but it's a pretty good trade-off. This actually helps you grind a bit better. Jet Synchron's, I would say, a better draw, but in conjunction with your engine, I think Diabellstar's a lot better, and it does give you the ability to set up follow-up better as well when you have the field spell up. So really liking this card, and it is kind of a pain against Tenpai with the battle effect, but they can play around it. But it kind of saved me. And then I'm on 2 Flamberge, standard there for Snake Eye, as well as 3 Witch. You need 3 Witch more than ever because your combos are more oriented around Selene going first now. What else? And then 3 Wanted, original, field spell. I did not play 1 for 1, and I did not play Bonfire. 1 for 1 maybe I should have played in hindsight, because I do have a pretty large hand trap count, like monster count overall in relation to the deck size, but I didn't go with that. I thought it's too risky into hand traps. Like, Tenpai's throwing a ton in their deck, and just the meta in general is just, it makes it a risky card. I think the deck was like fine as it is. Bonfire, I don't have an excuse for that. I just didn't have 3, but I figured this deck's good enough where I can offset that consistency with some other cards. So the engine was a little bit more heavy on cash. I went with 2 field spell, a birth, Unicorn to search that birth, and then 2 Fenrir. I was watching some profiles lately playing more than 1 field. I thought that's a pretty good idea because the value that you get out of the cash engine is just sticking face-ups on the field, so you can have a little bit more of a grind with your Snake Eye cards. Unicorns, like, so gross strong it with Witch. You're not really investing much with these 2 cards, and if you draw Witch as well, you're just able to push for an Apo earlier in your combo without having to commit a Snake Eye monster. So I think that's really cool. And then, you know, this of course pushes through hand traps decently, and it's going to punish them if they try to stop the Unicorn. It's a really nice game 1 when you get that knowledge of what deck they're playing, and you can orient your setup accordingly. That's kind of it for like the engine monsters. And then the hand trap lineup: 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Droll. Sadly, I don't have this deck all QCR'd yet, but we'll get there. And 2 Nib, and then 3 Imperm. I messed around with the hand trap lineup a lot. Like, I had Ogre in for the longest time, It's good against Tenpai, against the field spell, but like really that's it. And you don't use it too much against other decks. It can be useful in the mirror against certain cards like IP and SP, but yeah, I was fine without Ogre. Droll was kind of the MVP. Like, figuring this was a locals, I wanted to have Droll in game one for a lot of the rogue that we see. So I was pretty happy with the hand trap lineup, and 2 Nib didn't really make too much of a difference. And then rounding out the main deck, 3 crossout, called by, and talents. I don't really want to draw multiple talents, as good of a card it is inherently. I just kept it in as the one of with crossout, just because of course a lot of my interaction is during the opponent's main phase when I set up the standard board. And then called by is really clutch to have. I think I did have it for a shifter once today, and then a couple of hand traps in the Tenpai matchup, which was really clutch. So it's a good card despite being limited. Now we'll just jump into the extra. Hope Harbinger. I like the Hope Harbinger end board. Guarding against some of those spells is pretty nice, and this was actually went pretty hard against Melodious, which I kind of liked. Dracosac, of course, just like a free IP. And then just some of the more standard monsters. Anima, IP, Dark, Ida, SP Little Knight, Phoenix, Celine, Access Code Talker, Promethean, Raging, Zealantis. So funny enough, I made Zealantis boards just a ton today. I thought that was like the play. This really plays nicely around evenly matched. I really like that. That's kind of why I went for it going first. And then it also kind of helps out against Tenpai because their field spell's not protecting them in the battle. Makes it a little awkward for them. And then of course I play Apo and Underworld. This card's insane. You're spitting out so many bodies. I think like you gotta play it in this deck. It's just like great utility for all those hard to out monsters, like towers and stuff. And then shout out Access Code. Shout out Jacob. This card saved me. I think he would have won if I didn't go into that. Had to get over a very big Chaos Angel. That's giving me a hard time. Anyway, side deck. Chudrus Worm. Meg. I was actually expecting Voiceless today. Did not see any. And Branded. Did not see any. I don't think I summoned these once today. But for what they do, and then they like facilitate dark, I had to play them. It's like an automatic like slot in side decks these days. Triple Bell. I kind of had Melodious in mind for Bell, so that's why I stuck with it. I didn't really want to have it in. I'd like rather have like Change of Heart, Mind Control, stuff like that. But I decided I don't really like the board breaker approach. Duster. Honestly, I never used the Duster. I just it was like a cross out type of thing. I just kind of kept it in first so I could protect some of my going first cards. Sorry, my dogs are going off there. 3 Droplet. I said I didn't like the board breakers, but I really do like Droplet because it's a higher spell speed and people can't see it coming. Plus it shuts off responding. Triple D barrier. Tenpai. Mainly. It can hit other decks. Voiceless too. And then MVP is probably Skill Drain. Skill Drain is an insane card. It's kind of like the same philosophy as Summon Limit. Just make your board and then drop skill drain. When probably after you IP, what I was doing, I just set up Zealantis and then like go IP Flamberge into SP, have them co-linked. So I kind of have a backup plan if I didn't want to flip the skill drain. But I would just have that as my plan B, or if I could just afford to flip it, I would do that after I got all the bodies off the Flamberge, and just guarantee myself follow-up, and then I can just remove this from the field with one of the Snake Eye cards. So yeah, I honestly think this card's better than Summon Limit, because a lot of decks are just trying to rely on their engine to push through, and board breakers are kind of trending down now. So might up this to 3. It's like almost an auto win button, but yeah, it's kind of like one of the last floodgates that's unchecked right now, so might be the next to go. But that's the deck profile. Stay tuned for more. Going to be getting ready for the NAWCQ this summer, so maybe a couple more videos in between now and then, but for now, take her easy.